This video, I'm going to teach you how to clean up an address list to prepare it for labels that you might print from your desktop computer for postcards or letters or such and such, okay? So the issues we're going to address in this video is one, how to get the states cleaned up into the 2-character format. The other issue we're going to talk about is what to do when you have zip codes that have 4 characters and we want to make sure that zeros go in front of some of these states like Massachusetts and New Jersey that would lead to leading zeros, which get cut off when you type zeros into zip code. The other issue we want to talk about is how to clean up formatting. So names, do you want them to be proper case, uppercase, lowercase? We can do that as well. So let's get started here. I'm going to address the states first. You can go online generally and search for states and abbreviations to get something like this to be copied and pasted into your Excel spreadsheet. So it's important I've got the state in the left column and then the abbreviation on the right column. It doesn't have to be in alphabetical order. It's just how it came through. I recommend make it a table. So do that real fast here. Name the table something familiar like states. And just keep in mind, if you've never done a vlookup before, or never done a vlookup before, just keep in mind that our abbreviations, what we want to go gather and fetch, happens to be in the second column of this table. So I'm going to bust out a vlookup, and if you've never done a vlookup before, this is going to be pretty fast. You'll have to go back to some of my earlier videos to watch the tutorials on that. I'm going to look up the state inside of the states table. Now again, that is down here. You tell it the second column, and I'm looking for an exact match. I can type false or 0 there. We just verify that it's working correctly. The only problem you would get would be if somebody put in if you're relying on people to type in their data, and for whatever reason they type Georgia with a space in front of it, that kind of thing, or typos could be a problem. So be on the lookout for NAs and try to find those out to verify, do you have the correct spelling of the typo? And it also could be that if you copied data from the internet, you might have a mistyping or something like that, and that would destroy, because when you're looking for exact matches, it needs to find an exact match. If it's not on a list, it won't find it. Okay, what we do next is we click on the first one, Control-Shift arrow down, Control-C to copy, and then Control-V to paste, or right-click, paste, and select values. If you were to do just Control-V, you wouldn't have to make sure that you clicked on the clipboard immediately afterward and selected values. Okay. Now those can go away right there. All right, so as I've talked about, we have zip code problems for East Coast. And what I'm gonna do is just do a quick search for how many characters are in each zip code here. The len function tells us how many characters are in a text string. Simple as that. So we should find 4s for any zip code that has that. We could handle those, and I suppose if it's only a few contexts, I suppose you could go in there and type your zeros in front. Now, if you do that, you do have to select the text ahead of time and choose text format for that to be prepared. But what if you got thousands of records? You don't want to do hand checking that. So I'm going to show you a trick here. And what it involves is how to concatenate when we find a 0. So watch this. If I did equals 0, like that, concatenate, which basically means join up with something else and put something else, I'm going to get a 0 in front of the contents, like that. Now, you don't want to do that for all of them because you're going to get zeros in front. We don't want zeros for the ones with 5. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use the classic if function in Excel. And the if function will test if we have 4 characters in a zip code. And if that's true, append a 0 in front of it, basically. Put a 0 in front of it. If false, do nothing. Keep it as no. So here we go. Equals if, not of, if. Logic class len, I'm nesting a function here. G2 equals 4, comma. What to do? Then add a 0, just like I shared with you before, ampersand. That, comma, if false, just keep it. Okay, so I am good here. I will show you the pop-up here. That's if it's the test is for, append a 0 in front of the current zip code. If not, treat it as is. Okay, so there we go. And we've got that. Now, if that bothers you that things are on the left or right, you can certainly come over here and right align it, such and such. But ultimately, we want to do the same thing. Copy it, paste the values right on top of that, and then we can delete that. All right. And traditionally, you would want to keep probably this to be a zip code as text formatting. Handle that as well. So lastly, we are going to clean up the names, the formatting names and so forth that you might have. To do that, we can go to the formats text, which include lowercase. If you ever want to return lowercase, you can do that. Of a text string, you can do proper case, which will convert the first character of each word to uppercase and the rest will be lowercase. And then there's also upper, which will convert sometimes address labels. You might want to put all the names in the cities and states to be uppercase. You might like that. So let me start with upper, just to share with you how that would look. So then I'll do another one, proper. Neat, huh? And assuming that you had their full name, let's say, notice that it would go out and proper case all words within that text string. Okay, whichever one you like the best, you would just copy it and paste the values right over top of that from that position there. Okay, you could certainly repeat that with the last names and addresses as well. And then once you had everything complete, cleaned up, you would save it as a final copy. And then you'd be in a great position to open up Microsoft Word and navigate to the labels section where you could import this spreadsheet into labels and just look at your printers like Avery 5160 and populate that data inside to run through. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see other blog entries and videos of mine, check out sequentiasolutions.com.